Does your little one love stories? Is he or she obsessed with Peppa Pig and other fun story characters? Hi, I'm Riddhi Savla, founder of Ikigai Global Prep School, also an early childhood educator, teacher trainer, and parenting coach. And today, in our episode 3 of Parenting Simplified, we're going to be talking about storytelling. Well, actually, we're going to be talking about not just storytelling. And on board with me, we have an expert storyteller and an educator with years of international experience, welcoming aboard for today's chat on Parenting Simplified, Jill Anuj Nanda. Hi, Jill. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us on this session today. And my first question to you would be, why is storytelling important for children, especially in the early years?
Hi Riddhi, thank you so much for inviting me and having me here. It's a great pleasure to be a part of this session. As the name suggests, not just storytelling. It's all about healing, caring, sharing and telling. Early years, that is right from an infant to 8 years of age, storytelling has a huge impact on children. Honesty, truthfulness, gratitude, and even learning various concepts are ingrained in them if we tell them through stories. Early childhood education taught through stories would not just enhance listening skills of a child but also improve concentration, improve in new vocabulary words, teach them new words, and also have a very good process of learning. So there are four main pillars of storytelling, that is hope, love, belief and truth.
Wow, thank you for that wonderful insight, Jill. The second question I want to ask you is something that I get very, very often when I interact with parents. It is that does it mean if we want to expose our children to stories that we need to buy that many storybooks? Are storybooks the only medium or only way to narrate stories to children? Or do you have some handy tips that parents can use without investing too much money and space in them storing these storybooks?
No, not at all. We should not keep buying books. According to me, from my point of view, I would tell you you can use household objects. We have whole lot of them in our kitchen. Toys, blocks, soft toys, pillow even, and even animals which a child plays. Paper folding, then you can use by drawing, role play. You create a story. You let your child build up imagination. Let your child get involved in what you want to say, and you will definitely see a change in your child. And if you really want to buy books, I would suggest join a library instead. Don't keep on, buying books. Join a library. Every time you have a new story, new book, and you're not wasting a lot of money. Simple.
Those tips are really, really interesting, Jill. That means we can use anything available at home and sometimes just our face or our hands to narrate very interesting stories to kids. That means we don't really need to buy too many storybooks, because if we do that, where are we going to keep them in the house? All right, that brings me to my third question with you, Jill, is that parents sometimes feel like they don't know how and when to integrate stories in their child's day. How often should they narrate a story? Should it be on an everyday basis? Should it be once in 2 days, once in a week? What is the frequency? And what are your tips on having a routine that parents can plan for their children in terms of storytelling?
This is a very good question, Riddhi. You can tell a story every day or any day. It's not a compulsion when to tell a story. To all my lovely mommies and daddies, this is my tip to you all. You tell one story a week or more than a week. The third week, your child will be able to read that story on its own. Your child will be able to narrate it also. It's not a necessary you tell a story in English, but if you tell them in various languages, they'll be able to grasp new language as well. And you will be surprised, isn't it? Wow. And you know, one more thing you will also learn it, that your child is grasping new words, new language. Your child is able to read, your child is able to narrate, and you will be the most happiest parents. And secondly, if you cannot tell a story every day, I would suggest you tell a story thrice a week, or during lunch or dinner time, or even when your child is going to sleep. That is the best time to tell your child a story. Instead of giving screen time to your child, give story time to your child. You will also be happy, and your child too.
Wow. I'm personally also getting to learn so much as you answer all of these questions for us, Jill. Well, we're coming to the end of the conversation now, and this is a prime question, is that there are so many storytelling classes out there. One is, what can parents choose? What is the criteria when they're looking for a storytelling class? And two is that, why is it important to have sustained, continuous exposure to storytelling and not just enroll for 1 or 4 or 8 sessions and then stop? Why is it important to continuously expose your child to stories at a sustained level, Jill?
This is my favorite question, Riddhi. Like, as we are storytellers, we come across so many groups. Like, one group would be with us for very long time, and one group would be there with us for 4 sessions, 8 sessions, or leave. But as we are educators, we know the importance of storytelling in early childhood education. But when we see through parents, some parents think that storytelling is just storytelling. But my dear lovely parents, storytelling is just not storytelling. Let me tell you, it sharpens memory of your child. It helps your child learn academy more in an easy way. You know, it also lowers the stress and anxiety in your child. And I can go on and on. So it's not that your child is just listening to a story. And one day, if your child gets involved in totally, you will see your child would be a narrator one day. And won't you be happy for that? Yes or no? Yes. And I would like to tell you from my experience that when I tell a story, I see to it that I'm not just telling them moral or etiquettes, but with morals and etiquettes, I also see to it a child is learning something from my story. For example, if I'm taking up Thirsty Crow as a story, I would not just teach a child a story about a crow who was thirsty and what he did, but also would teach him sinking and floating through the story. Another story like 3 Little Pigs. If I'm telling them story about the 3 little pigs, I would not tell them about the wolf and the 3 pigs and what happened with them. But I would teach them various types of houses too. So yes, that's what is storytelling and making learning easier. I would like to end one more time. Storytelling is just not storytelling. It's all about healing, telling, sharing, and caring.
Well, this has been an amazing conversation, and thank you so much, Jill, for being a part of this. I just had to pick up the phone once and invite you, and there you were, all excited to be part of our series, Parenting Simplified. Parents, we hope you enjoyed this session on not just storytelling, and we've all realized through the course of this series is that storytelling is not a one-off, and it's not just storytelling. There's so much of math, vocabulary, science, art, music, and conceptual understanding that our children pick up as we tell them stories. I'd like to close by giving you a very, very simple fact out there, is that children and even adults remember things that are taught to them through stories 8 times better than if these things were taught to them just by a conversation. So please expose your children to stories as much as you can. Teach them things through stories and give them exposure to books and to a lot of mediums where they can pick up stories. Soon you'll see that they'll start creating and framing their own stories, using their imagination and thinking out of the box. Yes, that's a wrap for today. We hope you liked the session. We're waiting to hear what more we can bring to you as part of Parenting Simplified. Till then, happy parenting. Stay safe, stay home. Bye-bye.